Good morning, one and all present here. Our guest for the day, Mr. Sushil Ostwal, the students, and all the organizing committee who has put efforts to make this event a success. I welcome you all to this event banking conclave. But before starting any event, we bowed down to Lord Ganesha. And with that note, we would start with our Ganpati Vandana and lighting of the lamp. So. That was a very pleasant start to the day. Now I would like to introduce our guest for the day, Mr. Sushil Ostwal. So talking about him, he has a progressive experience of 17 years in the field of data science and analytics. Worked with a multinational and startup, track record of bringing business outcome through analytics, AI driven solutions in financial services, insurance marketing, analytics, fraud preventions, mortgage loans, e-commerce, telecom, technology, public sector, oil and gas, managing global team and stakeholders. Talking about his functional and technical expertise, he has completed 2 months online course artificial intelligence strategies for leading business from Kellogg School of Management, AI strategy and development, automated machine learning, model governance and monitoring analytics solution architect, and implementation strategy, actionable insights generation, customer journey optimization, conversation rate optimization, collection analytics, personalized recommendation, digitalization, automation, agile delivery, design thinking. His accolades: he has won 3 AI Pinnacle BFS in BFSI sector award in August 2020, NBFC Excellence Award for Best Analytics Project Fraud Prevention for Unauthorized Trading in August 2019. He has won more than 10 awards for thought leadership, commitment, high standards of performance, innovation excellence during tenure with Accenture, Hewlett Packard. E-commerce intelligence cube framework presentation at Inform's 2011 conference Chicago. Talking about his professional experience.
Sushmita, that's fine. I think let's get started, okay? That's
Okay.
pretty good intro.
Okay, so we welcome you, sir, and you start.
So, good morning, friends. Good morning, students. A very good afternoon to one and every one of you, wherever you are. And thanks for joining in. And I'll try to keep it as simple as possible without any jargon and technical. Try to explain what artificial intelligence is, how to develop, how typically an AI solution is developed, and what are some of the challenges faced, what are some of the applications, and then at the end, show you a couple of innovations which are happening in India, and then open to questions and uh, questions and answer session. Okay, so let me share my screen. Uh, Let me know if you guys see my screen. Hello.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's buffering.
Yes, sir. We can see.
Okay. So we experience artificial intelligence every day in everyday life, right? Right from morning where we have fitness watch or tracker, which monitors our steps and activity and suggests suitable exercise based on your fitness goal or your health requirement, right? And then you also can get access to the curated news, be it in Alexa or be it in Shiri, or be it you subscription to any newsletter. So based on past history of your reading habits, you get curated alerts to begin your day, and keep yourself updated what is happening in your field, in the world, and so on, right? Then moving on to the transportation, right? You want to reach to your home, office, college, or whatever that be. So there are algorithms which recommends or shortest path in where you're doing a Google search or something like that, right? And then in the afternoon, you can order your lunch through Swiggy or through Zomato or through various food apps where basis your past food consumption habits, your order history, and so on, and your location. You're presented with a recommended list of food and option, right? And then you want to you when you're going back home, you on the way you can do shoppings on the various shopping platforms, be it Amazon or Flipkart, whatever that be. And it also gives you a recommended lists and recommended items, and also offers various discount, right? And in the end, at the end of the day, you want to unwind yourself. You basis your usage pattern, Netflix or Amazon will recommend movies, or basis your music genre. The app will recommend the right music, and that's how it is influence. It has come in everyday life. We experience it, but we really don't see because and believe me. It is not that simple what is happening in the background. AI is a vast field. Okay, so let's try to understand let's try to demystify it. Let's try to understand what AI is. Okay, so so definition of AI, I think you guys are studying AI, but just let me re-summarize it. Okay, it is a science where you train system to emulate human task through learning and automation. So what does that mean is the machine performs cognitive functions such as perceiving, reasoning, learning, and act by analyzing the data rather than traditionally where we do a code where coding is required. And that is how AI is differentiated from algorithms. So it previously 10 years back or some time back, meaning there used to be a set of rule. Okay, if this is happening, then this should happen. But now what AI does, it automatically learns from the environment, from the experience. It adjusts to the various inputs and perform human like tasks. Okay, now, when we say cognitive or human-like task, so what are some of the human-like tasks we do? We see, we hear, we speak, we feel, we think, right? So when we are saying seeing as a cognitive cognitive task, right? The AI is able to identify and understand the context of object, right? What is there in the image, what is there in the videos, and then translates that into a text. Okay. Then moving to the hearing as a cognitive ability, it deals with speech, sound, and auditory signals. Okay, and it captures from the various videos, right? Talking about speaking, writing, it uses natural language ability. Okay, it mimics the various speech patterns. Okay, then feeling is basically you are trying to understand the environmental conditions, right, which is pretty much used in IoTs or industrial applications where there are various sensors where which captures the temperature, pressure, and it throws an alerts and so on. And human being, as a human being also, we respond to weather and conditions, so on like that, right? And the last thing is thinking, where machine learning and other techniques are integrated, where data is ingested and analyzed, and actionable insights are generated, which then is fed to the system to drive the business results. Okay, so typically, thinking and seeing is where most of the majority of the use case development is happening, but the other areas is catching up. Okay, so that brings to important question: why AI is so important now, right? And why is it like everywhere there is a hype and enthusiasm about AI? Okay, so artificial intelligence was coined in 1956, but in the last 3 4 years it has become more popular because in the increased data volume, increase decreased cost in computing power and storage, and advancements in various algorithms development. Okay, so I recall 10 15 years back when I was studying, getting 256 GB pen drive hard disk was used to cost thousands of rupees, but now it costs hundreds of rupees, right? You can just buy your own algorithm, assemble your system, and start building, start programming, start doing, start writing algorithms. So that is why AI has now become it has adoption has increased. But the second reason is also that pandemic, a COVID-19 pandemic, has advanced the adoption of AI across industry function, processes, government, and supply chain. Okay, so typically companies and organizations which were thinking of adopting AI 5 years down the line, they have advanced it and make it a priority. So that journey of 5 years has now come to 1 year or 2 year of journey. And believe me, if companies who are adopting data science and AI as early as possible are creating differentiation in the market and getting a good outcome and a benefit versus the laggards who are facing who are not adopting as much. But you will see when in coming days lot many companies and adopting AI, and you guys will have a tremendous opportunity to contribute in this growing industry. Okay, also if you guys know the vaccine which COVID, the COVID-19 vaccine which has been developed in a record 1 year time, Moderna vaccine, if you guys recall, mRNA vaccine, it is highly based on data and AI technologies. Okay, so the beauty of this mRNA vaccine is it doesn't create a vaccine, it doesn't create a virus. What it does is in it when it is injected, okay, it generates a protein, okay, such as insulin and all that. And then it reads like inside the body, it reads like a code, and the protein reacts, or it works as instructed to fight the virus. Okay, and this is one of the game changing in healthcare industry. Okay, so that's why AI. Now there is a lot of confusion. Okay, so let me just spend time here to discuss. There are what are some of the key technologies. So basically, there are 5 AI technologies. Okay, which are interchangeably used and mixed often. Okay, so the 5 technologies are artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, and computer vision. Okay, so what is the artificial intelligence? It tries to mimic the intelligence of human. Okay, and tries to make a decision. Okay, what is machine learning? It is a subset. It is a subset of AI. What it does is it applies statistical methodology to identify patterns in human behavior and data and make decision. Okay, so for example, it can predict whether a customer will buy a particular product or not, whether a student will get into IT, will crack JEE or not, something like that. Okay, and they get better and better at prediction over a time as and when they acquire a new data. Okay, so that's the best. It adjusts itself. Okay, now the third part is the deep learning. If we go a little bit narrow, okay, what does the deep learning means is when it is exposed to different data or patterns of data, they can adapt themselves, so they can uncover the features by themselves, wherein machine learning will have to create those features, and we have to create the features and fit it into algorithm. But deep learning में क्या होता है कि अब you just fit in the data and automatically it looks into the data, creates layers of neural network, and it creates features. Okay, and then it throws an output. Okay, deep learning is not new, it has been in since ages, it has been, but given the advancement, it is the adoption is increasing gradually. Okay, and one thing, deep learning requires lot of data to get trained. Okay, and so not every application or use case will have lots of data. So deep learning is used in is used in area where there is a lot of data, where the computation decision making is very critical, but data requirement is quite huge over there. Okay, moving on to the fourth technology, which is called a natural language processing. So it's a branch of artificial intelligence. It helps to understand, interpret, and manipulate human language. So which means, let's say you have written your exam papers. Okay, and there is a natural language algorithm. Rather than a professor checking your the answer, there can be an algorithm which will scan your answers, understand the context, and try to interpret and throw an output saying what could have been his score. Okay, the you guys are not able to see my slides.
So your screen is stuck on the first slide.
यार ऐसा तो नहीं होना चाहिए था. Which slide you are seeing?
Yeah, now it's changing. You're on the third slide.
Okay. You are in the fourth slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fifth slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ठीक है. So I was here. Okay, 5 AI technology. What was talking about? Okay. So natural language processing, the fourth technologies. Okay. So another example could be you give a product reviews on various platforms. Okay, and then the natural language algorithm, what it does, it understands the sentiment and see whether there are any complaints or whether the customer liked the product or not. Okay, so that's the fourth technologies. The fifth technology is a computer vision, which deals with understanding and interpreting the visual world. It captures the images from maybe cameras, videos, and identifies and classify objects. Okay, so it could be a live action of a football game, computer vision, or rivals and surpass. It is so powerful that it can sometimes pass the human visual abilities. Okay, so for example, in a football game, there are companies who are tracking every pass, goals, movement, passes, and then trying to predict whether what is the success of a win or how good a player can win. Okay, so these are the five AI technologies, and you will hear them very often as you start working in this field. Okay, now moving on to the next one. So what do we mean by intelligence here? What kind of intelligence are we talking here? Okay, so broadly it is weak AI to super intelligence. Okay, weak AI may basically what happens is, give me a moment, let me zoom this. Okay, it appears to behave intelligently, but it is unaware of the consciousness around it. So, for example, a chatbot might appear to converse with you, but it has no sense who it is and why it is talking to you, right? Narrow AI is basically performing a very single task, like IBM Deep Blue, which was a chess playing competition, and which beat the world champion Gary Kasparov. Okay, strong AI is where it tries to behave intelligently, thinking as human does, and with a conscious and subjective mind. Okay, so for example, there are two humans which are interacting. They know exactly who they are, what they are doing, and why. Okay, general AI is where which majority of the development and work is happening. It tries to solve a wide variety of a task. Then the super intelligence, which is basically beating the human being, which is not practically possible, but that may be a feasibility or reality maybe after 10, 20, 30s, we don't know. But super intelligence is as long is is not achievable at this stage. Okay, so now we know that what are the AI technology, what it does. Okay, so now what every AI solution does. Okay, it should help in decision making, whether I should spend so much in marketing, who are my best advisors, for example, how is my sales performing, how is my inventory looking up, when is the right time to stock it up. Okay, then automating various manual tasks and repetitive tasks and complex tasks, then reducing the cost. Okay, and assisted intelligence. So every AI solution is, it should do this. Out of this 4 5, it should do one of them. Okay, so just to summarize, क्या करता है वो? Sense करता है कोई. AI lets machine perceive the world around itself by acquiring and processing image, sound, text, and other data. Comprehend is the next thing. What it does, it चलो data तो collect हो गया, right? It has collected the data, it has processed the data. Now it tries to recognize the pattern and the context around it. Okay, then it enables a machine. अभी process हो गया, comprehend, it has understood the pattern. Now it, right, it should act as in, it should give a decision. Okay, after that it should continuously learn and adopt itself. Okay, and then try to improve after learning from the action. Okay, but very important is the explainable AI. Okay, it has to be responsible and ethical. Basically, there are various regulatory environments. So what if a machine AI is not able to, it gave a wrong decision? Who's responsible for it? Okay, if there's some biases, then how do we handle those biases, right? Then so that is responsible and ethical AI is very important. So that needs to be very much into very much required. And also there are data sharing agreements are not there between countries. Okay, so how the data is being shared, how it is being stored, how, what is the security, who should give control and all that. So that is now going to be very important, and that is the responsible and ethical AI. Okay, so moving on to the next. So how do we develop an AI? Okay, so this is a day-to-day activity that you guys will start working on. Okay, you guys are able to see slide number 9, right? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, we can see slide 9.
Okay. So how does a typical AI development works is how we do is you start with a business problem. What is a business problem you're trying to solve? Okay. So for example, you guys are students. Let's say your principal comes to you and say that I want to I want to predict whether how good a student will perform so that we can know his weak areas, his or her weak areas, provide personal attention, and ensure that the student perform better and achieves the college admissions. Okay, so that is a business problem. Without a business problem, AI doesn't should not be done or started. Okay, now, given the business problem, the next step is to collect the right quality of data and quantity of data. That is a very very important aspect. Okay, अगर quality of data नहीं है और quantity of data नहीं है, तो AI will fail. Okay, so here when we are talking about in the student performance prediction, okay, so it will be all the students performance in all his years, his education, his other activities, his awards, his 10 mark 12 marks, his feedback from various teachers, and all that data is gets collected. Okay, and that then you try to explore the data. Matlab, data is collected, now understanding, okay, how many records do I have, how many columns do you have, what are the attributes are there, are the attributes making sense or not. Okay, the values or the distribution is showing as we expect or not. Okay, and then if it is not, you go back to step number 2 to get more data. Okay, and then you decide, I want to build an algorithms. There are various algorithms which I'll just spend in the next slide. Then you decide the algorithm and you create a model test, that you will build a model on certain percentage of data, and then you go to step number 6. So where now you have the data, you try to create lots of features or transformations of those data points. For example, you create mean, median, moving average, and so on. Okay, and then you try various algorithm where you go in a step 7th. Okay, and you try various algorithms, you assess the model, how good is the model performing or the algorithm performing, and then that is an iterative process. You go back from step number 6 to step number 2, then from step number 8 to step number 4. Once your model is ready, you're sure that your model is performing as expected, it is meeting all the model criteria, then now you decide how you want to deploy the model. That is a very important. How do you now integrate with the system? How do you make it in a real time? How do you go to the last mile and help in decision making? Okay, and then you continuously monitor the results and feedback into the algorithm so that it continuously improves. Okay, so that is a typically the development process, be it any AI technologies that is being used. That is the typical cycle that is being followed. Okay, now, as I said, AI is vast. There are various algorithms. Okay, there are hundreds of algorithms. So selection of the algorithm depends upon the use case you're trying to solve or the business problem you're going to solve, the amount of data that you have, how you're going to implement the model, what are the pros and cons of different algorithm. So typically, if you look at those algorithms, it falls into machine. They were talking about a machine learning algorithms here. It is a supervised, unsupervised, and then there is a deep learning or a reinforcement learning kind of algorithms. Okay, so let's say in your case, whether a student will score high marks or not. So that is a typically a supervised problem, because you know that I have a labels in the data, and from the past history, you know that some students have performed well, so I label them as one and try to build algorithms. So some of the algorithms that are typically used are decision tree, logistic regression, boosting algorithm. Okay, now, second set of the algorithm are unsupervised algorithms. Okay, so basically where you don't have a label. Okay, let's say there are participants who are in this event now. Okay, we want to understand the demography, the profile of these people. So what we'll do is we will put all this participant profile, do a clustering or a segmentation, and arrive at the groups and say, you know what, these are the groups of people who are from particular college, who are particular age, and so on. So that is unsupervised. Okay. Then there is a deep learning or deep learning algorithms where you have convolution neural network, which typically processes the images and audios and so on. Okay. So there are wide variety, and each of this algorithm has its pros and cons. In some use cases some algorithms may work better, in some use cases it may not work. Okay, so you have to we have to try this algorithm and see. Okay, now moving on to the applications of AI. Okay, so this is human plus machine as an example, as in the healthcare, right? So I think we all in the pandemic we all have experienced a remote healthcare or a medicine, right? So here you see that the AI is trying to use the senses, the cognitive senses of a human being, right? So first is the facial recognition, which you see in a mobile app. It captures the patient video or a photo. Then there are sets of questions which are asked. Okay, those answers get recorded. Okay, and then those answers which are get recorded. Okay, those get then converted into an text through an NLP technique, and then it tries to identify what are the could be the typical symptoms on history, and depending upon the severity, the patient is assigned to appropriate doctor or a waiting area. Okay, so this is human plus machine working together. Okay, then talking about other applications, these are some of the applications. Now there could be a financial advisor, right? You say that you my goal is I want to invest 1 lakh rupees, help me build my portfolio. So the algorithm, or the AI application will recommend a optimal mix of the investment for you guys, depending upon your risk tolerance, historical performance of the portfolio and behavior of your individual. Okay. Then talking about the smart grid optimizations. So basically it monitors the various loads which is happening on the grid, and it tries to forecast. Okay, saying that in this particular time period we see the load to increase, so we need to optimize that, we need to allocate more energy or resource towards that. Okay, then you have experienced personal assistant, right? Where you log in and any web or a mobile app, you will see a chatbot coming in and asking you a question. So, for example, in a airline industry, you may just say that, okay, what is the status of my flight? And then it will say, your flight is delayed or what it is cancelled, and here are my alternate routes, alternate flights you can try it and all that. Okay, so there are a wide variety of application. Okay, but as I said, it is vast and it is not that easy, because background there are a lot of things which goes on. Okay, and when I say it is not that easy, there are challenges. Okay, so typically this is what I have listed down. Typically there are 4 challenges that we face. Okay, one is the data challenges. Okay, there are data quality issues, right? As I said, there is not enough data, good quality data. The data is siloed, it is not in one place, it is lying in different systems, it is lying in different application. There is insufficient breadth and depth of the data. What does that mean is there is not sufficient data which has been captured. Okay, there is a lack of data digitalization. Okay, which means the data may be stored in a handwritten notes, or it could be in an Excel file. So digitization, there is a lack of digitization over there. And of course incomplete understanding of the customer, be it in any industry. Okay, so those are the data challenges, because AI, without data AI will not work or give you the success. Then there are operational challenges. Okay, so there is, if you look at the companies, okay, or the industry, a lot of historically, a lot of legacy system and technical debt has been accumulated by companies. It is there are a lot of old systems, a lot of investments that has been done in those. Now moving that this old systems to a new system, because AI typically requires data and so on. So that is one challenge that typically is being faced. Then the organization structure, okay, redesign is very important. You cannot just go and say that, okay, I have this data, let me start building AI solution. No, the organization has to adopt, the cultural chain has to start flowing in from the top of the company, okay. And there is a lot of resistance to the change. So this is the operational challenge. Then there are regulatory challenges, okay. Okay, as I was saying, there are various regulatory framework, there is data sharing regulation. Then the question is, why should we trust AI? Okay, so some people say, sorry, it's a black box. So you have to keep it, you have to explain those AI solutions so that there is a trust in this solution. Okay. Then very important, talent shortage. Okay. And this is where you guys have an opportunity. Okay. You need to be a lifelong learner. You need to have a combination of programming, statistics, technologies, domain knowledge, soft skill, and collaboration. Okay, these are all 5 6 ingredients that you guys need to learn as you complete your college, as you step up into your in the corporate world. Okay, and of course curiosity is very key, is one of the key factor. Okay, and you need to be lifelong learner. Curiosity, if you don't have curiosity, if you are not a lifelong learner, then stepping in and learning AI is going to be, called humongous task. Okay. So this is my last slide. Okay, I want to play a couple of videos. Okay, now this one is a drone company based out of, I believe, Telangana, or in where they are on a mission to eradicate malaria or dengue. Okay, and it is, they have gifted this, I would say, we would say they have gifted this solution to the world. Okay, let's. So whatever I've tried to put down here, you may want to relate to this video, okay, and see how this company is doing AI for good. Okay, so guys, just let me know if you guys hear the videos or the sound. Okay, are you guys able to hear the video?
No,
हेलो,
sir.
अभी
No,
सुनाई
sir.
दे रहा है?
No.
अभी सुनाई दे रहा है?
नहीं, sir.
हेलो, नहीं दे रहा है क्या?
No, sir. It's still on the 14th slide.
No, I'm playing a YouTube video. Wait, just a second, huh? Give me a minute, okay? Give me a minute, okay? Ah, now
Yes, sir.
can you hear the video?
No, sir. I cannot hear the video.
वीडियो सुनाई दे रहा है क्या?
No, sir. Only video दिख रहा है. No audio.
Okay. Give me a minute, guys, okay?
Okay, sir.
How do you enable a video here? मतलब voice कैसे enable करता है? Do I need to put an external speaker or something?
No, sir. You just increase the volume of a laptop and the video will play on its own.
That I have done already. अभी देखो आ रहा है क्या?
No, sir.
Wait, let me do something. अभी आ रहा है क्या? Is it coming now?
No, sir.
अभी आवाज नहीं आ रहा है?
नहीं.
Okay, let's go through this video. You try to read the text over here, okay?
Okay.
So what did we see here is this company Marut Drones. Okay, they have a drone which captures the data, and they try to understand from the data. The data gets captured to the sensors which are fitted in the drones, and and then the data is analyzed. Okay, the moisture, the text, the conditions, and so on, and then they try to throw an alert saying that this area can have a mosquito, a breed of mosquitoes, or and this is the area where you need to take care and reduce those mosquitoes. Okay, so that is one beautiful application, AI for good, and you can visit their website and see. Okay, now let's move to the future of travel. Okay, this is what I believe this is an airline which is trying to develop airline which will reduce the travel time drastically. Okay, and this company which is called Boom Supersonic, based out of US. Okay, and AI is at the core. AI is just one of the part of the airline, but they simulated lakhs of experiments, design and solution using cloud, using data. Okay, just watch the video and you will see the amazing journey. What does this company is trying to achieve? Okay. So this company is planned to launch the first flight in 2021. Okay, and and there are four or five airlines which have placed orders billions of dollar with this company. Okay, and you look at what they're trying to achieve. They're trying to reduce the travel time by half, and look at the airline, the structure, the design of the airline. Can you believe what is the size of this company? Just any guesses quickly? Can someone just quickly say? So if you see here, it's a 140 employee company. Okay, so I think that's it. What I had to cover. Okay, and thanks for your time once again. And I'm ready to happy to take any questions that the audience have.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So we got a question. How's nano AI going to impact the workforce? Do you think it will result in job displacement or human resource empowerment?
No. So first of all, it is not going to replace human. Okay, please. That is a typical question or in everyone's mind. It's not going to replace jobs. Okay, in fact, it's going to augment a human job. It is trying to make human intelligent. Okay, it is not going to replace, but yes, some of the jobs could be replaced, which is through automation, through automated tasks, but that is very small percentage. Okay, but not is not going to replace human beings or human jobs. Okay, in fact, it's an opportunity for all of you guys, okay, to work in this area. Okay.
Okay, so there's another question. Does AI fundamentally change how the financial industry serves the economy?
Yes, it does fundamentally change. It is fundamentally serving. Okay, so be it in customer experience or be it serving the customer. Okay, if you look at any bank or a financial service company, 70 to 80% of their customer interaction has been automated using a chatbot, using a virtual agent, or through automated response over email. Okay, then the recommending, so if one use case that we are working in our company is recommending the right product to the client at the right time. Okay, because there are lakhs of clients which our advisor has to service. Okay, it is not it is not possible to for a human being to service each and every client individually. So what does the AI does? It tries to recommend that these are your clients who could give you the revenue, so you should go and talk to him, and that is a recommendation that the algorithm will throws up. Then there are another part of it. The algorithm also tell you, what, this is your customer, and this customer is going to become inactive, so there is a chance that you're going to lose this customer. So why don't you talk and prevent that churn? Okay, then there is product recommendation, which is the financial product that we should recommend, so that we increase the customer share of wallet. Okay, then there is lots of things in the web and the mobile. There is humongous data being captured in the web and the mobile platform. Okay, we need to understand, we understand those customer journey, right? What are his needs? Okay, so that you can make the experience in the web and the mobile platform more personalized. Okay, next question.
Oh, yes, sir. Okay, so are current financial regulations adequate for overseeing the AI-driven industry?
It is being developed. Okay, but I believe I think in very much in the industry we do have PI, personal information restriction, where various companies are looking into that. There are strict security controls, there are strict data sharing mechanism, so all that is in place. But I think cyber security is a risk, and I think each and many companies are have put on a lot more investment and technologies to tackle that. Okay.
Okay, so sir, one last question. As a country, is India equipped enough to take on AI in the banking sector?
Yes, it is, but it needs to catch up with the world of America and China. Okay. In India, it has to catch up. It is now. I think one thing is what I can say is that every company is now has realized the potential of data and AI in the last 1 year because of this pandemic. The potential of data and AI is tremendous. Okay, companies which were not thinking about doing AI have started. Companies who were doing, they have accelerated the adoption. Okay, so it is now gradually on a ramping up. Okay, but it is not that easy. Those challenges still will persist. Those challenges needs to be addressed. But the journey has started. Okay.
Okay, so we have two, three more questions. How can AI help to improve the education system in a country like India?
So I think personally my view is education should help the poor and underprivileged section of the society. Personally, my view is that how it can help. See, AI. You guys have seen lot many startups coming in like Byju's, Unacademy, and all that, right? Which are offering courses for things. Okay, and they come and they try to create a personalized learning path for you, right? But I think we need, as a country, we need to promote. There's lots of free education which is available from IIT and IIMs. And I think you guys know Neptel, right? Which has lots of videos and training materials. And I think that promotion of that is needed, and how we can help poor adopt this education system. I would say we need to look into that area.
Okay, so how does AI help in investments as of now?
So as I said, it helps you in your investment planning. Say, let's say you say that I have 1 lakh rupees to invest, and my goal is that I want to buy a car after 5 years. Okay. So what the AI will do, it will recommend a portfolio that's saying that you want to invest 1 lakh. So which stock should we invest, or how much you should invest in stock, how much you should invest in mutual fund, and so on, so that you achieve your goal. Okay, so that is one area. Then it also gives you uh, recommendation of various products based on your life stages. Okay, so let's say you're moving from 30 years to 40 years. So it will say that, okay, you know what, your portfolio should now be moved from one stock to another stock, or you need to buy life insurance, term insurance, all that. Okay.
Okay, so you just said that the AI helps in telling you where to invest and how much to invest. So how accurate is the AI while giving you such suggestions?
No, it is not 100% accurate. Okay, every as I said, when an AI solution gives recommendation, we it needs to be validated with a human. Okay, a lot of controls have to be placed. Okay, a lot of risk controls have to be placed. Okay, so machine has thrown a recommendation. Okay, there is a human angle also. The human has to say that, these are some of the checklist parameters, these are some of the risk we need to ensure that these are taken care. So that we need to we ensure that depending solely on machine is not possible at this stage. Okay,
Okay,
at
so
least.
that was our last question. Sushmita, over to you.
Yes. So now I would present the thank you note, vote of thanks. So good afternoon, all. Well, they do say all good things come to an end, and so has this event. But I'm sure that everyone has learned a lot from it. On behalf of Thakur College of Science and Commerce, I would like to express my appreciation to you, sir, for investing your time in us and giving us the knowledge that will help us acquire jobs. I would also like to thank the management, the principal, faculty members, as well as non teaching staff of Thakur College for always supporting us. My sincere gratitude to our coordinator, Mr. Nirav Goda, and Pooja Shetty ma'am for making such an event possible. My personal thank you to you all student volunteers for helping organize the program. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all my fellow TCAC student members for being participative and cooperative and making this event a huge success. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys and best of luck.
So let's start with session 4. We have with us Utpal Chakravarti sir. So welcome sir to TCSC family.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes sir, we can. So let's start with the session. Utpal sir is an eminent data scientist, AI researcher, strategist and the thought leader with more than 2 years of industry experience, including as a principal architect at L&T, Infotech, IBM and many other MNCs. He was also the head of artificial intelligence at Yes Bank. Utpal sir is a well-known speaker and author on artificial intelligence as well as agile and lean and has spoken around many conferences around the world. His recent research on machine learning titled Their Approximation for Deep Neural Works and his books Artificial Intelligence for All has been appreciated at several conferences, institutions and many universities. He has also demonstrated a few out-of-the-box hybridized implementation in different industries. We welcome you sir. Over to you sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can you hear me well?
Yes sir, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So first of all, thank you so much for inviting me in this event. Good afternoon to all the audience, viewers, faculty members, students, whoever is watching this event. So I've got a very small presentation. So I will share that presentation with you. And mostly I'll be talking about how technology like artificial intelligence is transforming banking and financial. So here I'll talk about a couple of real use cases, and also I'll talk a little bit on uh, quantum computing, which I'm recently doing some research in collaboration with D-Wave, and especially, yes, of course, in financial sector. So that is another thing that I would like to touch upon. So I'll go to the slide. I don't know how to. Okay. So share. I'm going to share it. Please let me know if you can see my presentation. Please let me know if you can see my presentation. Is it visible? Can somebody confirm me? No, I can't hear you. Can somebody confirm me whether my presentation is visible? Yes or no? Yes, right? Okay, fine. So shall I continue? Okay, so I think you are talking on mute. I cannot hear anything. You can hear me well, right?
Yes
Okay.
sir, we can hear you.
Yes, yes. So that was the confirmation I was looking for. Okay, and my presentation is visible. So let's start. So the first slide was not correct. The title was not correct. Title was how a technology like artificial intelligence and machine learning is essentially transforming the banking and finance sector. So if you look at the entire uh, industry, I mean, you can say all the industries are going through a revolutionary transformation. Okay, and this is, you can say, it is a golden era of news and technologies. Okay, because many technologies came together at the same time, like big data analytics, then IoT, IIoT, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and also quantum computing. Okay, which is coming, which is not yet full fledged, but coming. So this all technologies all together, okay, came at the same time to bring about this kind of a revolutionary transformation. Okay, And we are actually living in the era of golden era of technological revolution. Okay, and we are very fortunate. We should be very fortunate about. We should think ourselves very fortunate about this. And this revolutionary transformation is essentially moving from digitization to cognification. So digitization, we all know what is digitization. Okay, so transforming the physical services into digital thing, and almost we are doing in every area or every industry wherever it is possible to transform our physical services into digital service. So that is nothing but our digitization. But in last few years, it is no more just digitization. It is something called cognification. So cognification is a term you will not get in any dictionary, but I frequently use this term because I think this term suits this particular phase of revolution. And I will explain what is cognification. So cognification is essentially that you can think the topmost layer of digitization. Okay, where we are trying to bring in that human element or the human cognition into our digitization process. And to do so, we require a technology like artificial intelligence, okay, which can which can augment the human intelligence to some extent. Okay, I will not say to a great extent, but to some extent. But this is again a blessing for the humanity. Okay, because we have been trying many technologies. Although artificial intelligence and machine learning and all those things are not very new, it is there since 70s and 80s. But because of a lot of limitations, okay, technical limitations, you can say, it was not been possible to leverage this technologies for our business. Okay? But in last decade, there were a lot of things, lot of new innovations happened, a lot of breakthroughs happened, and because of that, we are today fortunate that we are now been able to use these technologies into our business, okay, or into our day-to-day life, or for the humanity. You can say these are all interlinked. Okay, so I mean, we can tell, but these are all interlinked. And in this process, the enterprises or the entire industry is transforming their products, their processes, and also their strategies. So it is touching across all the verticals. Okay, so this is the part. This particular slide means that we are actually going through a revolutionary transformation, which is actually from digitization to cognification. Now, what are some of the views of the analyst? Okay, so these are some. I'll not spend much time on this slide, but as we are talking mainly on banking and finance, so they are saying that, okay, the analysts are market research analysts are saying that the conversational banking, okay, is going to be one of the focus area in coming years, and already it has started. So banking in a conversational way, whether it could be chatbot, it could be virtual assistants like Alexa, Google Home, it could be anything, some other devices tomorrow. Okay, probably some advanced IoT device will come tomorrow with gesture control. Okay, only with gesture you can do. I mean, nobody knows. Okay, tomorrow, but this when conversational means when you are actually doing a conversation with the machine, okay, while doing any kind of transactions or while meeting any kind of requirement. So this is going to be a very focused area. And second thing what they are saying is embedded AI. Okay, that is essentially like already we have got a lot of enterprise systems in banking and in finance industry. Now, how to bring about some kind of intelligence within those systems, within the parts of those systems, to make customer journey much more, what do you call, much more easier, or much to enhance the customer experience, or to essentially delight the customer. Okay, so how we can put some machine learning models, some deep learning models, some intelligence programs into our enterprise system, existing enterprise system, and make the customer journey much, much, much more efficient, much, much, much more delightful, and much, much, much enhancing the entire experience altogether. Okay, so this is what the analyst says about banking and finance. Now, what are the motivations? Okay, why AI in banking and finance? Okay, people may ask. A lot of people ask me. Okay, so when I visit a lot of academia, IITs, IIMs, and all, or universities, so they ask why AI in banking and finance. Okay, so this is a very common question. Okay. So yes, so the motivation or the key drivers are essentially banking and finance is a data intensive business. Okay, so we need to understand that. And any business the mode of operandi is, or they are mainly into a data business, okay, or they are basically essentially at the core manipulating data, they require a technology like artificial intelligence. In fact, they cannot avoid a technology like artificial intelligence because they will be requiring that. Why? Because AI can provide a lot of intelligent predictions and recommendations with that particular data, and which is going to help uh, 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 framing their strategies, running their business, and decide the next course of action, okay, for different activities that a financial institution does. Okay, and this is not only for financial institutions, by the way. Any enterprise, any business, any vertical who are mainly dealing with data. Okay, and I think today, if you look at most of the organizations are mainly dealing with data only. Okay, so apart from the other activities, okay, but uh, uh, data related activities are common for all the enterprises, especially the big enterprises. So they will not be able to avoid AI. They will have to adopt a technology like AI. And second thing is the banks or the financial institutions, probably they knows their customer much more intimately than any other business, because they have got your financial information. And with that information, they can actually do very, very personalized and very, very what you call customized uh, recommendations, and also uh, providing services or products to the to an extent to the individual customers. Okay, and today if you look at everybody is looking for a very, very personalized kind of a recommendation or personalized kind of a product or a personalized kind of a service, right? Nobody wants a generic service, okay, which is for everyone. Everybody wants, like, it should fit into my requirement, it should fit into my nature of uh, job, or my nature of work, or my requirement, or my socioeconomic status. So to do that, the banks need to do a lot of digging, a lot of what do you call, um, uh, know your patterns, know your spending, know your uh, uh, likings, dislikings, and all those things. And that is only possible from a if you want to do it in a larger scale. Of course, you can do it manually also, okay, but you will not be able to do it in a large scale. Okay, only for probably for few high network customers. Okay, so you can put some team and they can study their behavior, and they can actually churn out their data and they can do it. But if you want to do it in a large scale, okay, and with much more efficiently, interrogating multiple data sources, because see, our the customer data is spread across, okay, and you need to actually collate and correlate those data, and then only you will have to uh, you'll have to identify the right kind of recommendations, the right kind of personalized product and services that you are going to offer, right? And that is possible only through a technology like artificial intelligence. So these are the two key drivers or motivations that why banking and finance is one of the major investor, okay, in AI, and it is going to increase. It is not going to decrease. Now I'll not go much into this thing because this is much more technical, and my presentation is actually not for this. So this is the wrong presentation in that. So essentially, whoever, any organization who wants to start their journey, okay, AI journey, how they can start with the help of building a platform and all those things. So I'll not go deeper into that. Rather, I will move into the other another side. So here it is, because as most of you are mostly on the not on the technical side, you people are what I can understand is more will be going into the business side of the story. So this is a slide which tells turning AI into ROI. ROI means return on investment. So any financial institution, or for that matter, any business, once they decide to invest something on a news and technology or anything, they always look into what kind of a benefit, what kind of a ROI that I'm going to get. Okay, so that is very, very important for them, and it should be also, because it is not like blindly I'm doing something. For an R&D company or for a big tech giant, they can probably do a lot of implementation just to see, just to do the R&D and all those things so that they can come up. But an institution like banking, finance, okay, they are not into IT. Okay, they don't want it to be in IT. Their core business is different. So they will definitely think, if I invest on something, on a new technology or something like that, what is the ROI that I'm going to get? So these are some of the very known use cases, okay, in banking and finance. So probably every one of you are well aware of this. So fraud detection. Okay, the fraud detection. This fraud detection area is a very versatile area. So there are different types of frauds. Okay, credit card fraud, debit card frauds, instant money transfer fraud, a lot of anti-money laundering, many. Okay, your insurance also frauds, and it is increasing. Okay, because this fraudsters, okay, they are also coming up with a lot of newer ideas and new techniques and all those things. Okay, and the conventional approach to deal with this kind of a fraudulent ecosystem is very, very, very difficult. Okay? And to be again, uh, I should tell you that this cyber crime or fraudulent activity and all those things, okay, used to be like for a fun, or used to be just to, I mean, what do you call, I mean, trouble somebody, okay, say probably around 10 years, 15 years back, or probably 20 years back. But today it is an organized crime, okay, and it is $1 billion industry by itself. Okay, so they are not doing it for fun, neither they want to trouble you. They are doing it for money. Okay, and these are all intelligent guys. These are not dumb guys, by the way. Okay, we should remember that. Okay, probably some of them are great data scientists, okay, operating out of dark web or somewhere else. Kind of. So that is why the importance of detecting frauds at the right time, or implementing a system which can continuously monitor your different transactions which are happening through different channels, through different things, how we can protect this kind of fraudulent activities and all these things. And if something happens also, how we can take a post-mortem action on that. So here, a conventional approach of rule-based kind of a system or something like that doesn't work today. Okay, so because as I told you, the fraudsters are also evolving. They are also coming up with newer and newer techniques. So that's why we require a system which is a adaptive system, okay, which can learn from the situations, which can learn from the past data. And machine learning is the best example of doing that. So that's why all fraud detection systems are now powered by machine learning, because this is the adaptive system. It can understand the pattern, okay, and with that, it can take necessary actions and highlight if there are anything which is abnormal. Okay, so that is the idea. Similarly, in credit risk assessment, so many financial organizations has already started implementing this. So before giving any kind of financial aid to a customer or to a entity or to a business, we need to assess the risks of giving that credit, right? And for that, again, a machine learning kind of approach is a perfect approach, because it can actually correlate, collate, okay, and data from multiple sources, okay, and then it can come up with some kind of a uh, recommendation or some kind of a points, okay, so and also highlight the risks involved into giving any kind of aid to a person or an individual. Similarly, on high-speed trading, it is already there. Okay, so most of the high-speed trading today across the globe are actually powered by artificial intelligence, machine learning. Any kind of prediction and forecasting that we do, starting mm, uh, uh, from your uh, your business plus for customer related things are completely powered by AI machine learning. Cybersecurity is another area. So I've dedicated another slide for cybersecurity. So that I'll be discussing. So cybersecurity is also very, very important for financial organizations, okay, because ultimately they are dealing with sensitive data of the customer, okay, and that need to be protected, okay, as I told you. So for that also. The smart wallets are there. These are basically payment mechanisms. So multiple payment options are available here, and you can actually control those. So this payment industry is also completely is not going to be. It's already been transformed by AI, machine learning. Okay, so and uh, payments today is part of the customer journey. Okay, so um, we are trying to um, embed payments within the customer journey so that customer need not have to take the hassle of doing payments and all those things. So payment is part of the journey. So whenever you want to do any kind of transactions, payments is already there. Okay, and we have got multiple options also. And also very importantly, cross-border payments. Okay, cross-border payments used to be a little bit hassle-some, okay, so troublesome kind of thing, because a lot of regulatory things are there, cross-border policies, rules applies to those kind of cross-border transactions, right? So now with the help of AI, machine learning and all those things, even the cross-border transactions across the globe are getting simplified, okay, and you will see in a couple of years, I mean, you hardly bother where you are sending money, whether it is in India, outside, or something like that, where from you are buying and all those things. This will be, I mean, you will be least bothered over that. Till now, you are still bothering a little bit, okay, but going forward, it will be like seamless kind of thing, and that is only because of this kind of technologies. Anti-money laundering, so again, it is part of fraudulent kind of things only. So anti-money laundering is essentially like money laundering cases are essentially the illegitimate wealth coming inside a legitimate system, and it looks like it's a legitimate transaction, and ultimately it is going somewhere cross-border, okay, in a very complicated fashion, and somebody is actually doing some terrorist funding or some kind of illegal activities, some drug peddling, okay, and all other illegal activities are happening, or biasing some kind of elections in some country, okay, by some other country. This kind of activities actually happens through this anti-money laundering. Okay, so how the money will be flowing from uh, uh, from one part to another part? It could be mostly for it is mostly cross-border kind of things. So they will create some false fake entities, put their money on their accounts. It will flow in a different fashion, okay, altogether, and somewhere it will go across the border, okay, and somebody, okay, will again try to pull it from the legitimate system and will use it for some illegal activities, as I told you, like any kind of terrorist funding, okay, or any kind of drug, any kind of other things. And there is a very, very efficient mechanism today, okay, and there are solutions and products available with the banks and financial institutions. They can detect like how the money is flowing, where it is going, where there is, so if there is any kind of suspicious activity, they can stop it there itself, okay, and 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 to a great extent it has become real time, okay, otherwise it used to be completely postmodern, okay, so things happen and ultimately you do some kind of a digging out of the truth. And now it is not like that. Okay, so to a great extent, it can be real time, and you can stop this kind of incidents. Robo advisors, you all know. Okay, so these are advisors, or these are virtual advisors which can actually guide you in your what do you call in your when you are investing in any portfolio. Okay, so essentially it can manage your entire portfolio, and there are various variants of robo advisors. Okay? So it is a common term, but there are different variants. Okay, you can build similarly recommendation engines, so it is there everywhere. So any customer facing channels, any kind of recommendations you want to do to that customer, which will be lucrative for him or her, it's basically done by AI machine learning models. So those kind of recommendation engines. And there are numerous other things I have listed. I will not go into everyone. Probably most of you already know these things. Okay, so I assume that you people. And so these are some of the known things. But apart from that, as I told you, there are numerous opportunities or use cases, which are not surface probably. We'll have to. Some of them are surface, but some of them are we have to dig a little bit, and there are numerous opportunities. So it is same like in any industry if you talk about. Okay, so anything and everything. Okay, there is an opportunity of this kind of intelligent AI machine learning algorithms to be embedded to enhance, okay, the functionality of the system or the experience kind of thing. So everywhere there is an opportunity. So probably requires a little bit of digging down into the fact, going into the minute technical details, but there is an opportunity. And that's why I'm saying opportunity wise, everywhere we talk about any industry, okay, you will definitely find some kind of a opportunity there. Coming to it, chatbot. I mean, chatbots are normally, neglected or hated by the people because the experience they have or they had in last couple of years. But yeah, don't ignore it. Okay, so chatbots, it is not something that we should ignore it. Probably our experience with the chatbot was not great. Okay, but essentially the heart of the chatbot is a NLP engine, which is called natural language processing engine. So it is not, I mean, purely natural language. It is NLP plus deep learning kind of a models that works at the heart, and these engines are maturing every day. Okay, and you can see the chatbots today. If you interact with a good chatbot, so it is very difficult to even identify, okay, for 15 20 minutes or half an hour, so whether you are actually talking to a chatbot or a human agent kind of thing. So that kind of chatbot is also available in the market, and this is only because the engine, okay, is getting more and more mature. And that's why you have seen in Google I/O, every time Sundar Pichai will be talking about this conversational engines, right? So that is one of the major agenda. So he will demonstrate how a chatbot or a virtual assistant. So virtual assistant and chatbots are same. Okay? I mean, all the underlying technology is same. So how it is talking to a haircut salon, how it is talking to a restaurant for booking some table. Okay, why is showing? Because they knows there is a huge potential for that, and they are already investing a lot. So all the big giants, okay, whether it is Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and all, they are all investing on this kind of technologies to make the conversational engine as powerful as possible, because they knows if they can make it as powerful as possible, I mean, opportunities are, endless opportunities. Okay? Kind of thing. So don't underestimate the power of an AI chatbot. Okay, so tomorrow probably you will not be interacting. You will hardly be interacting with a human being. Okay, for doing any kind of transaction or any kind of business, or you'll be interacting with virtual assistants or chatbots or something like that. Probably the experience was not that great because it was marketed in a different way, and at that point of time, technology was not that much mature. So we had a bad experience with chatbots. So today, if you talk to any person, they will say, no, 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 not chatbot. I mean, chatbots are not intelligent kind of thing. But no, that is not the fact. Okay, so a technology person, as a technology person who knows the technology, I can assure that a time is coming when, okay, people will more interact with the machines in a conversational way rather than like talking to a human being, okay, for any kind of these things. all customer service will be replaced by virtual assistant. Literally all, I am saying. Okay, probably I am a bit aggressive on that. I don't know the timeline, but trust me, guys, all customer service, these things will be completely transformed by virtual assistants and chatbots for sure. Now coming to some other technologies which are also new gen and which are essentially powered by computer vision, okay, and some of the speech analytics technologies. So ATM security, okay, or I mean I'm writing here ATM security. It can be even security of any premises, okay, probably your locker or something like that. So these are actually smart identity management systems where you can with your CCTV camera, you can detect whether human, whether there is a human intrusion in your ATM, what do you call, in your ATM, or you have got, if somebody is carrying any kind of weapon, or if somebody is trying to destroy your ATM, or if somebody is fighting inside your ATM, or in your locker, or somebody is trying to break your locker and nobody is there at that point of time. Only the CCTV can in real time detect it and generate an alert, okay, to your administrator or the security guys, so that he or she can take a immediate action on that, okay. Or probably you can configure in such a way automatically if such kind of incident happens, you will you can blow a siren, okay, a whistle. Okay, so those things can be possible because once you detect it, you can do whatever you want to do, either sending notification to police or to your security personnel or something like that. So real time, it is possible and it is happening. Okay, so smart identity management is also a very big use case, and everywhere it is using, not only in banking, everywhere. And these are powered by computer vision, which is part of again artificial intelligence and speech analytics and all this. So somebody is talking something, okay, and from there, this thing also you can find out what exactly they are talking, okay, or if they're trying to do any kind of criminal activities. There you can detect real time, and also you can count ATM crowd. Okay, so probably one ATM, you can see there are a lot of crowd always they are inside the ATM. So that what does that indicate? That indicates that you need to put another ATM probably beside that ATM, so that the crowd in the ATM, people need not, your customers need not have to stand on long queues for withdrawing money or depositing money. Okay? So and I'll talk about a small case study. Probably everyone will be able to relate it, okay, that how this technology, because here we are using it, but I want to show you a very simple, it is a very simple thing, can be used in most of the financial institutions, and not only financial institutions, in any enterprises. So every enterprise is dominated by documents, okay. So the sign of a bigger enterprise, okay, is the number of documents or the amount of data, unstructured data it generates, right? So that is you can like correlate in that way, okay. So this is a direct indication kind of a thing. So here now and the data that we generate in an enterprise, 80% of those data are unstructured data. It is not structured. So when I say unstructured data, it is not in a tabular format. It is not in a database. Okay? So it will be document, image, PDF, JPEG, Word file, Excel, all other things. Now, how to deal with this kind of a document? How I can process automatically this kind of a document, right? So that is again a challenging area. Because I can give you some examples, like for example, uh, uh, for your insurance claim, okay? So probably somebody got hospitalized or admitted to a hospital, and now he has got an insurance claim. So he show the insurance card and he get hospitalized, and hospital takes care of everything. So as a customer, you need not have to pay anything. It is the insurance company will pay. Now, what behind the scene, what is happening is essentially this hospital is gathering all the documents related to that hospitalization. Okay, so it is room bill, any kind of medication charges, then surgery charges, if anything, then all your reports, blood report, ECG report, CT scan, MRI, everything all together. Okay, they will jumbled up, all bills, all doctor fee, everything will doubled up, and they will put into a cloud drive for the insurance company to access it and process it. Correct. So this is the process. And now insurance company is having a back office, okay, where thousands of people are sitting. What they will do, they will download the document case by case. Okay, there will be thousands of cases, or probably lakhs of cases. Case by case, people will take those documents, go through that. I will through all the documents, and they will maintain a checklist and take all those parameters and create a report. Now that report will go to a lead, okay, because this the people who are doing it, okay, just for a verification, they have a lead. So that lead will again check it, go through all those things, and then probably it will go to a doctor, because every insurance company has a doctor of their own who actually verifies whether the information they are producing are correct or not. Okay. And now after that only, if he approves, then there will be another 2-3 rounds of approval process, and that will be there. So this whole process used to take months. So you got hospitalized after 4 days, everything surgery is done, you got discharged, you went home, okay, you were happy. But this hospital it will take 1 month, 1.5 months to get the money from the insurance company. It is because the processing time that it requires, because these are all unstructured documents. Some of them are human generated, handwritten, some of them are machine generated, some of them are completely machine generated, like MRI report, ECG report, this, that, all those things, and whatever the bills are coming, this, that, blood report, these are all machine generated. But they need to verify everything, right? Because those parameters are important to actually come up with a conclusion on that particular case. So now, with this kind of unstructured document processing system, which is again powered by technologies like NLP, machine learning, and deep learning all together, and also rule-based, all together, jumbled up together, you can actually process these things real time in the sense in a couple of minutes, and then probably somebody can verify, and it will, you can process it. So your time from 1 month of this thing can be reduced to a couple of days, okay, at most a week. Okay. Normally it is couple of days, or the other time spent are all official activities. They do it. So that is the power of this kind of technologies, okay? And this is only possible through these technologies, because other approaches will not work here. And this is in this kind of a use case, you end up. Uh, uh, I developed this kind of system twice in my tenure, and you end up using almost all the technologies which comes under the vertical of artificial intelligence. So NLP, natural language processing, you use extensively. You use machine learning, you use deep learning, okay, whenever it is required. Also, you use some kind of rule-based system. So everything all together you use in a layered way, and essentially you can visualize it. Your document is passing through different layers, and the data is getting extracted, and then report is generated, and the decision is taken, and somebody is eyeballing probably at the approval phase, and your claim is done. Okay, so this is the power of this kind of systems, and I will not go into all those things. Similarly, another example I would like to give, and then I would like to conclude this session, is email analytics. Okay, so now what is email analytics? So any bank or any retail, online retail store, or any kind of Amazon, any bank, okay, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Yes Bank. So they are common email box. Okay, so info@xyzbank.com used to be bombarded with millions of emails every day, right? So everybody is sending different emails. Somebody is having his problem in his debit card. Somebody has applied for the credit card. He has not yet got the credit card. Somebody, they have rejected the loan and they want to know why my loan is rejected. So there were numerous queries. Somebody probably is asking for some insurance claim form. Somebody is asking for some insurance form because they want to. So numerous this kind of email. Now, to actually to attend to this humongous amount of emails, it requires a huge team. Plus, with that team also, the TAT or the time to respond to those emails, it is huge. And in today's world, at least you cannot expect. I mean, somebody has sent an email and he is getting the answer after 4 days or 5 days. So it is not like that. People are impatient today because I mean the services are like that. So if I send an email right now, in 2 minutes I should get a response back from them, and not only respond, the resolution of the case, whatever problem I have. So that is kind of the mentality today we are carrying, okay, because of the things we are getting. So now it is not possible in a conventional way to process those emails in so fast a manner, okay, because there are millions of emails. But with AI, machine learning, you can definitely do it, a similar kind of technique. Okay, wherein it's like you can create a dashboard, okay, every day in the morning. In that dashboard, it will automatically identify these are the emails which are high priority emails with escalation and all those things. These are the emails which are follow-up emails. These are the emails is looking for something, some insurance claim form or something like that. These are the emails they are looking for. And your team can actually attend to those emails in a very, very timely manner because they can see, so these are priority emails. I can address this in the first hour, right? And these are like low priority emails. So probably tomorrow also we can do it. So in that way, it will help or enhance the efficiency of your operation, right? Because that's what the customer is looking for, right? So they are looking for that kind of efficiency, and if you want to efficiently service them, then your backup system should also be very very efficient. So similarly, there are many examples. In fact, it can go on and on and on, like customer service quality monitoring system, wherein basically by analyzing uh, the conversation between the customer and the service executive, you can identify whether the discussion was going in a right direction or a wrong direction, right? Or you can also find out the opportunities like upsell, cross-sell, upsell opportunities there. So that again. So with that, uh, I want to conclude my session. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Yes, sir. So we
Thanks
have
so
few
much.
questions. Can AI replace humans? And if yes, then at till what extent can it?
Yeah, so these are very high level questions. I mean, there is no yes and no answer to it. So yes, it is already replacing human in many areas. So if you look at the job roles, so job roles are actually, and it is not only AI by the way. Okay, so if you go back to our history, so industrial revolution has replaced a lot of laborers who are working in the industry. Then IT revolution has replaced a lot of people who are doing normal entry jobs. Okay, because we have got this thing. Now, in case of AI, it is little bit different and little bit advanced because now the machine has got the cognitive ability. Okay, it can also think, it can also take some decisions to some extent, and it can also augment some of the works that human do, the low level works probably. So definitely it is going to replace human, and rather than replacing, actually it is I would put it in a different way. It is essentially transforming the nature of job that human is doing. Okay, so essentially the human job is moving upwards to more intellectually challenging jobs. Okay, and all mundane activities which doesn't require that kind of intelligence, creativity and all those things, those are being replaced by intelligent systems like AI. And it is going to happen. It is going to happen in a very very rigorous way going forward. The biggest example is driverless car or self-driving car. Once it hits the market, there are billions, not millions, billions of divers are going to lose their job. One, it will be phase by phase. It is not like suddenly it will happen, phase by phase. Okay, this is going to happen. A day will come, probably after 30 years, okay, or 20 years. I don't know. Okay, when there will be no divers. I mean, you do not have to think of divers or even driving a car or something like that. It will be self-driving. At that point of time, the huge community of divers who are there worldwide for different these things, they are definitely going to lose that particular job, but their job will be, I mean, they will be doing something else. I mean, the job role will be elevated to something, some other job, probably monitoring those cars. Okay, although he's not driving, but somebody did. And I don't know. I mean, so these are only we can speculate. Okay, but that is for sure. It is going to replace many of the human jobs, and not
So then we
completely,
have
by
one
the
more.
way. But not
Hmm.
completely, by the way. Okay, so still the intellectually challenging jobs will be there after 100 years. Also, there will be things which are intellectually challenging that AI cannot take care of. That is,
So we have one more question. In spite of having such high level cybersecurity, then why do the data gets breached like big companies like Domino's and Nika?
yeah. So same thing like I covered in my talk only. So it is as I told you. So the cyber crime, okay, this industries is kind of, it is an organized crime, and it is a trillion dollar industry, in fact. Okay, and the more uh, precautionary measures that you take with high-end technologies to secure your data ecosystem. Okay, but still there are chances, because those are also talented guys, right? So they are also coming up with newer and newer techniques. They are also putting their brain researching and trying to find out the loopholes in your security system. So normally how it goes, just to give you some background. So these people will study an enterprise, okay, where they want to land the attack. Okay, so if we are talking about attacks, a normal, I mean, for human mistake, someone is breaching something. I'm not going into that. That is completely some kind of a mistake that people do. But normally, the more challenging thing is attacks, right? So before landing any kind of attack, they will study your enterprise for years. They will look at everything, all your security loopholes, what kind of systems you are, what kind of software you are, how quickly you can respond back or retaliate back. Okay, those things, everything they will study, and after that only they will land the attack. Because why? After landing attack, they will ask money, right? Ultimately, it is like that. Okay, so they're not doing it for fun. They are putting their years only doing fun. No, not at all. So that's why they will be 100% ready with everything, and then they will ask you money that you give me this for Bitcoin, and then only I will release you of this thing. And yeah, situation will occur. You will have to give it. Otherwise, you will have to lose that data or whatever it is. Kind of, they can take the control of your entire ecosystem. I mean, if required, because there are instances just with the security. I mean, electronic meter in Europe. Okay, they have taken the control of the power, the central power system, and the half of the city was completely blacked out for a couple of hours. Okay, such kind of attack they can do. They just get the handle in a household meter, smart meter, and with through that they can reach out to the power station, and there they can do it. So similar example, when the patient monitoring system, because most of the hospitals in US and Europe has advanced patient monitoring system, okay, which can easily detect some parameters of patient disease, because humans are not there. I mean, a human cannot attend the patients all the time. So through that patient monitoring system, taking the control, they can take the control of the entire hospital network and entire hospital system, and they demand, like, guys, give me this much Bitcoin, otherwise I will stop your this system, that system, that system, that system, and your probably your patient will also die. So that kind of a attack they can land, and it will be there. This is a fight, okay? This is a Tom and Jerry kind of a fight, okay? So it is always will be there, okay? So they will also try to come up, and this is bad, but one way, I mean, if you look at like the uh, security and technology kind of thing. So our security systems is going to be more and more robust because of these guys, because we fear these guys, right?
So one last question. What are the courses we commerce students can opt for to get into AI industries?
Yeah. So I'll give the answer in a different way. So while doing a AI project, okay, or a project where the AI technologies, because AI is an umbrella term, like there are many technologies comes under AI. So let's, for the sake of discussion, let's call it as AI. So for any AI project, Okay, when we execute, we require different kind of people. Okay, one is definitely data scientist. Okay, junior data scientists, AI engineers. Okay, who are there. Even the data engineers are also required because we play with the data. So those people will be there. But apart from that, we also require the SMEs, subject matter expert, who has got a domain knowledge, plus who has also got the understanding of the technologies. Okay, because he has only domain knowledge and he doesn't know, okay, how that this the power of these technologies can be linked or mapped to those kind of domain problems. It will be very difficult for somebody to guide, okay? Because if you bring a data scientist to a banking environment, what he will understand? He doesn't know anything about the bank. He knows only data. He can play with the data. He can build machine learning models and all this. And it is very difficult to find a a person having both the knowledge, strong in, probably somebody will have some knowledge, okay, but strong in both these things. That's not at all possible also, because this is a complete different field. So I think for a management student, okay, or that kind of a student who is going into management role or SME role, knowing these technologies will enhance, okay, their chances to work on this kind of new gen technologies, because these are the guys who will be able to correlate or map those business problems into, I mean, how these technologies will be able to solve that. Okay, so and that is very, very essential. So the success of a big data science project or AI project is not only in the shoulder of the developers or the data scientists, but also the SMEs, and this kind of techno-functional people plays a very, 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 very major role into that. So that's what my experience. Whatever big projects that I have executed in my career, okay, that is one of the major thing that I have realized. So it is not only technical guys, but these functional guys, and especially the techno-functional guys are very, very important. So that's why any course, I mean, when we say course, so there should be a learning part. Okay, it cannot be like I'll take two Coursera or Simply Learn or what do you call Edureka or some other courses. There are many courses available today, and I will be a AI expert or a techno functional. No, it is not like that. It is always a uh, it is always a learning path, and you will have to define that path, that these are the things I'll have to learn so that I can reach it. And this applies for both technical and non-technical people. Okay, because half knowledge is very, very dangerous, right? And that's what I see in the industry. Very unfortunate. Okay? People are claiming data scientists. People are claiming this that people are coming into public forum talking about data science, AI, this, that, and all those things, but they basically don't know. Many of them don't know the things actually. They have never implemented themselves. They don't know how it is doing. So on the surface, they are talking, and that is dangerous, right? Because anywhere, if you are an authority, if you are talking if you are an authoritative person, or if you are regarded as an authoritative person on a particular subject, you should have that knowledge. You should what do you call? You should have done those kind of things, okay, rather than just speaking about those kind of things. So this is also very, very important. So half knowledge is very, very dangerous. Whoever wants to learn into this kind of thing, because as I said, there are numerous opportunities. But guys, please follow a learning path. Okay, don't just dump into do two courses and declare yourself, yes, I am a functional person or I am a data scientist. And I think that is the most dangerous thing. In fact, I think it is better than that I don't know it. It is much more easier and much more better.
Yes, sir. So I think that's it. So thank you so much, sir, for such an informative session. It was indeed a fruitful session for all of us, and I'm sure that the knowledge that you gave us would help us in future as well. So with this, we come to the end of our event. I would like to thank our principal, Dr. C.T. Chakravarti, Vice Principal of Commerce Department, Dr. Nishikant Jha, Vice Principal of Junior Commerce, Mr. Kiran Jadhav, sir. A special thanks to the Coordinator of BBI Department, Mr. Neerav Goda, Head of OCM Department, Ms. Pooja Ma'am, and my organizing team. And thank you everyone for being such a wonderful audience. Don't forget to fill the feedback form. It's in the chat box, and it will be sent on the WhatsApp group as well. So you can fill, and the PDF will be issued in 10 to 12 days. So thank you, sir.